Welcome everyone to the very first guitar lesson to be featured here on Musicians Edition. You may have recognized me from the piano videos. My name is Evan and I'll be running the guitar lessons on Musicians Edition as well. And I'm very excited to get started. Today is just going to be a nice introductory lesson. We're going to be breaking down the different parts of the guitar and just figure out what's going on here before we get started to play. As you can see, I have an acoustic guitar here. I also do have an electric that I'll be playing in some of the lessons as well too. My Fender Stratocaster. This lesson I'll just focus on the guitar in general. We'll break down the different parts, understand how the strings work and all of that good stuff. And then in an upcoming lesson I'll go over more electric guitars and using amps, and we'll keep on going from there. So I'm going to throw up a picture of the different parts of the guitar. With all the names highlighted here, there's an electric and an acoustic, so you can look at both depending on what you have in front of you. I'll highlight the important parts that we're going to talk about. First, it is good to know the head from the body of your guitar. The head is going to be the skinny part right up here. Then we have a long neck that's going to connect to the big body of the guitar. The head has these tuning knobs up here, and that's going to be used to tune your guitar strings to different notes. The neck is the portion with the fretboard on it. That's what this whole side of it here is called, the fretboard. On the fretboard we have these dividers that make up the different frets of the guitar, and each fret is a different note that can be played on the strings. To help counting with remembering the frets, we have fret markers, and that's going to be these white dots right here on the frets. You can see we have them on the 5th fret, 7th, 9th, and we have the double dots on the 12th fret. That 12th fret shows us the 12 full notes or octave up for each of the strings on the guitar. Going to the body of the guitar now, my acoustic has this big sound hole right here. Meanwhile, on an electric, you'll have a solid body and you'll have pickups just underneath the strings here, and those pickups are going to be what sends the signal from the guitar over to the amplifier. The strings are going to end on what's called the bridge here, and that is just about it for the acoustic. The electric, you also have an output jack and then volume and tone knobs as well. Let's move on to the strings and tuning the guitar. You will most likely need to tune your guitar when you do first start to play it and regularly throughout. I usually do mine every couple days to make sure you do have the accurate sound that you're looking for. For that, you'll need to have some kind of a tuner. You can have a physical tuner that you can buy, or you can download an app on your phone. There's a lot of good free options that you can use, and that's what I will typically use. So for the tuner, we want to make sure we know what notes we want to tune each of these strings to so that we can get it to work the right way. We have 6 strings on the standard guitar, from thickest to thinnest in size, and they're going to go from lowest to highest sound. And the 6 notes for the guitar we have are E, A, D, G, B, and E. So 6 letters, and to remember that, I use elephants and donkeys grow big ears. E, A, D, G, B, E. Elephants and donkeys grow big ears. So I'm going to start by tuning my guitar with the thickest string here. Once you play it a few times, your tuner should be able to read it. If not, just bring it a little bit closer to the guitar to make sure that it can. I strung that string a few times. And to adjust it then, your tuner will either tell you you're right on E, or you're a little bit below, or you're a little bit higher than that E. To adjust it, you can follow that string down to the head of the guitar, and you'll figure out which one of these knobs it ties around. And then you're going to twist this corresponding tuning knob to get it into the appropriate key that it needs to be. So on my acoustic, for my thickest string, it is this first knob that's on the top here. So I can just play around with twisting that slowly each way until I get right where I need to be, right on that E for the tuner. And that's what it's going to be for the rest of these strings. You can go onto the A string next, follow to see which knob it goes to. Mine's right here. Read it on the tuner, and again, I'm just twisting to make sure I can get right on that A that I need to be at. And that's the process we're going to do for all 6 strings. Definitely the first time you play that guitar, it comes in the mail, you just got to the store. Always make sure you tune it right away, and do make sure you're checking in regularly on the tuning for it, because it can get out of tune just by sitting there or just by the more you play it. Last item I'll cover is going over the frets and the strings a little bit more. When we do play the strings, we can either be playing them open, which means I'm just strumming that string. I'm not touching anywhere on this fretboard at all. All I'm doing is just strumming, and that is me playing that string open. And that can be for any one of these strings that I can play open. Or I could be playing it while I'm pressing on one of the frets here. And that's going to allow me to go higher pitched with each of these strings. So you can see this is the thick E string played open. I can press the first fret, and it's a little bit higher at an F now, then F sharp, G, G sharp, and then A. And A was actually the name of the next string down here. So when I'm playing on this 5th fret on the thickest string, I'm playing an A. Or when I strum the 2nd string open, I'm also playing an A. And they should sound pretty much the same to you when you play them, because we're actually playing at the same tones for those. A and A. And I can do the same thing with this A string. I can climb up. And when I play on this 5th fret of the A string, I'm playing a D, which is the same as playing the string below it open. So I have 2 ways of changing pitch on the guitar. I can go up and across the fretboard to go higher on each of the strings, or I can go down to higher pitched strings. Both of them work to get me the same, higher tones that I'm looking for. That'll be it for the first lesson here on the guitar. I hope that helps you get started and get to know a little bit more about this instrument. Do make sure you come back to future videos so you can learn more and more and progress as a guitar player. Thank you, and hope to see you soon.